Welcome to Spawn Respawn, a weekly podcast dedicated to gaming news, culture, and nostalgia. This is our 8th episode, and we're going to be diving into some new games that are coming out very soon, as well as some new big news stories from this week as well. So, it's the calm before the E3 storm, and we're battening down the hatches in preparation for a huge couple of weeks. But I'm Dylan Smith, and I'm joined by Katarina Gerritsen,
Yeah, boy.
Elliot Porter,
Yo.
and Mitchell Barnsley.
Hello, family.
Hello, family,
Hello.
indeed. Well, this week we're going to start off just by talking about the games that we've been playing. And Mitch, I'm going to throw it straight to you. What have you been playing this week, man?
Well, I did it. I went and got the God of War.
I
Oh,
danced
baby.
it.
He once and got it.
And yeah,
true to his
I've
word.
been like at first I was kind of like the game was like it's these kind of games I'd never really played before. I don't really generally tend to, as the word with it. Kind of just yeah, but the game's been really immersive. Like I've kind of the more and more I play it, the more I kind of get involved with the story and kind of really feel that like deep connection between Kratos and Atreus. Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
boy.
So
You know he's your son.
no, I just know him as
He's your
son.
boy.
Or
His
boy.
name is Boy.
Boy. So yeah, I can't wait to get rid of
Get rid
more
of my
into
boy.
Yeah, get more into it.
In.
Can't wait for this to be over.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Where are you in the story?
Let me just try and think. No, I got past the world serpent a bit.
Nice.
Probably just after when you talk to Brock. Brock, am I saying that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And kind of do
Blue
a few
guy?
other upgrades and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Blue guy.
The angry dwarf.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Blue Brocky Boy.
Blue
Yeah,
dude.
man. So you've like opened up the world, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What I like about it is it's very obviously they're following a lot of the Greek mythology, like almost
Norse.
to a T. Like
Norse.
it's really awesome.
Norse mythology.
Norse mythology.
Yeah, man.
No Greek.
Yeah, man. Yeah, boy.
Not Greek.
not great.
Yeah, that's it for me though. What
No, that's
about,
cool,
Nice.
man. That's cool. I like how they take the Norse mythology, though, in that game. Seriously.
I
How
love
there's,
it.
There's so many lore videos on YouTube as well, where it's like going into each, like, I guess the God of War, like, ethos' sort of versions of the Norse gods, which
Yeah.
is really, real chill.
Have you
mad.
seen as well? You probably saw while you were playing the game. You know those triptychs that they have around that you can find. One of them, you find the broken panel, and it's got the symbol for the God of War from the different
Yeah.
Like religions.
mythologies.
Or mythologies.
Yeah.
Religions.
Exactly. Yeah, I was looking. I almost said that too, and I was like, "That's not quite right." You've got like the eye in the corner, and you've got some. I think there's like a Shinto one or something like that.
Yeah, cool.
So that's pretty cool. I'm excited for seeing how that all ties in as well.
Yeah, right. I mean, future games, like, have totally different, like, mythologies, which is
Hell
pretty
yeah!
dope.
They already did it once. They can do it again.
Do it again. No, that's chill. So, Kat, what have you been playing then?
Ooh, I've been playing some Shadow of the Tomb Raider, baby.
Jeez, that's a bit late, mate.
Yeah, I was
/
a bit late
patient
on that.
gamers, hey?
Yeah, that's me. Well, look, I got all the DLC now, so I can just pump it all out as one.
Oh, there's
so that's
DLC?
pretty cheap. Yeah, tons of DLC.
Like
So-
story stuff.
Yeah, like tombs, extra missions and things. This last one, because it's a trilogy, I assume it's a trilogy. I don't know if there's going to be more.
It is yeah.
Like, this last one has side missions and stuff that you can go on that the other ones didn't really have so much. But I did the same thing. Like, I played the first one, like Tomb Raider, when it came out. When Rise of the Tomb Raider came out, I didn't play it for ages, and then I played it like over a year later, and I've done the exact same thing with this one. I've played it a year later, and I fucking loved the shit out of it both times. I was like, hell yeah! Like,
I've played Rise, but I haven't finished it.
man, I'm fucking hot about those games. Give
But
me it.
this one's the
Rise-
one where it's just like there's that crazy ass main cult or whatever it is. Like, it's a main,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, and that's like Mayan Incan as well, and
Maya, right.
Christianity is a little bit in there as well, because you
All
have
the other games have a bit of that Christian relic stuff in it.
exactly, absolutely, and I'm fucking loving it. Like, I'm super into like ancient cultures and all that sort of stuff, so I've always loved the Tomb Raider games. But Maya has always had a really, you know, I've got a little soft spot for it. It's a little,
special
place in
your
my heart. Exactly. So I don't know why I didn't play it, because I've had the game for a while, and I was just like, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
What am I doing with my life?
And I was like, I'm
true.
gonna play. I was like, I've got no games to play. Super bummed. Nothing new's coming out that I'm looking forward to. Oh, I've got some games.
I still can't get over the transition. Did you guys play the other Tomb Raider game, like the first Tomb Raider one?
Yeah.
Played the
One
first
reboot?
one, yeah.
Because like it goes from her being a scared little like archaeology student or whatever to her being like a full
Badass.
like dead set cold-blooded murderer.
Yes.
Like, straight up killer.
Dude.
Yeah, the first person you kill is like a full moment in the game, and then next minute she's just like firing off like
Choo choo choo!
Running up a body count of like over
Right?
1,000 fucking mercenaries.
And
Clears the island out top to bottom.
Exactly. And in this game, there was 2 points that are similar to that stood out. One, she just murders 2 dudes, just ching, and you know, because you put the grappling hook in them and then you
Yeah.
like slice them with your knife, and it's like, that's a silent kill. Not at all. They would not be silent. So I kill these 2 dudes right in front of this guy, and I'm like, don't worry, I'm here to help you. I won't hurt you. And he just believes me. Bullshit. I just murdered 2 dudes in front of you. You don't know who I am. Yeah. He's like, I believe you. And then later, I'm like blowing up an oil rig and I'm going ham. Like there's this scene where like she pretty much dies and she falls into the water, and it looks exactly like that opening scene of the first game.
Oh, right.
And then she like rises out of the water and she's like, oh, and the guys are like, ah, and then you like pick up their gun and you mow them down, and you like mow down their helicopter and everything blows up. And then she just has an emotional moment, starts like screaming and crying on the ground in front of this oil rig that she just blew up. And I was like, dude, why? Like, what is happening here? Also, you thought your friend was there and you just blew that up. So like any chance of saving him is gone now. It turned out to be totally fine in the end, of course. But I was like, what is this moment? Like, you just murdered so many people. I've been murdering people all game, and once again, they're trying to do that impactful moment. It just doesn't stick quite well. Just
called
let me stick
adrenaline.
with the cool tomb raiding and murder.
yeah. Nice.
Don't give her emotions. 'cause
I don't need
just-
emotions.
It raises too many questions.
I already get, look, I have peak emotion in that game, and it is fear. I am, like, when I'm going through those tombs, I hate it. Like, I love it, but I hate it. Like, there's all these, there's like I can't remember what they're called, but there's a god type of race, like of these like tribal that aren't a part of the Inca or the Maya or anything, and
Are
they're
they
hidden
in the
away.
first one as well? Or
All of them have different ones.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the first one was Japanese, so it had more like the Oni and stuff like that. But same thing.
Right.
There's these people freaking scutting around in the caves with me, and you get to see flashes of them as they run past, and you've got this suspenseful music for like half an hour as you're in this cave, and then they're like, oh, you're going to swim through the water and get stuck and almost drown, and I'm like, very uncomfortable.
hate
but I love
drowning
it.
in games.
I know.
I just hate drowning in general.
It's
Like,
so bad. I'm like, what are you doing? You're stuck in the water.
this is a bit of a deep cut, but did anyone play Heart of Darkness on the PS1?
no.
No one?
No.
I might have.
Anyway, it's literally about a kid, and I won't go into detail or anything, but there is all these like ways that the kid can die, and they are all brutal. There is a point at which he drowns, and I'm like, it's probably the most visceral drowning
Drowning you've
moment
seen.
that I'd witnessed, and I witnessed it as a small child. And I was like, this
my
game
God.
is heavy, dude. But honestly, I would recommend type in Heart of Darkness PS1 Death Compilation. You'll see some shit. But
All right, I'm going to do that after this
we should.
That's
we should
enough for
do
me
a react
on
to
a
it.
game that's like literally a year old.
Anything else to say about Tomb Raider?
Yeah, I'm loving it, and I'm still scared of it, and I think I'm roughly 60% of the way in, so I'll still be
Nice.
streaming that probably later this week as well.
Chill
Follow
as.
me,
sick.
CapCat on Mixer.
Mandatory plug.
Yep.
That's fair.
Love it.
I don't blame you.
What about you, Elliot?
Yeah, Elliot.
Oh, I've got 2 amazing games I've been playing. So, first one has been A Plague Tale: Innocence. Stunning single player stealth narrative driven game. It's so good, and
It
like
looks cool.
you've probably seen videos. It's just rats. There's just
It's just
thousands
rats.
of rats. But it's so much more than that. Like I remember the first time I saw it was like I was watching YouTube and I had a 15-minute ad come on at the start of a video, and I was like, what the hell, a 15-minute ad?
I hate them.
What is this game? And I just watched the whole 15-minute ad. Like, what is this game? And it was A Plague Tale. And I was like, oh yeah, that looks okay. I mean, it must have been okay if I watched the whole ad. But
I was going to say, if
The
someone
rats-
gave me a 15-minute ad, I'm not watching
you
that.
know when you see the start of like some gameplay and it's like, oh yeah, I don't know what this is. And then you just like
End up
glued
watching
to it. Yeah. But I thought, it's not really my kind of thing. But I thought I should give it a go. It's getting like really good reviews, and it is amazing. The rats aren't even like the main draw of the game. It's about these kids who are like trying to escape the Inquisition, and
The Inquisition.
It's really, really, really good. I hugely recommend it.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
I've seen some footage of it. At the start, you have a dog,
You do.
and it gets sucked into a hole in the ground.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, it does.
Is that?
It's
Like,
the rats.
no, it's not. Like, that dog is just like, that's like quicksand but mud. Like, it's
No,
just hanging
no,
out there, and then
it's
it's like, oh!
Yeah, it's rats.
It
You got to
looks
play it
ridiculous.
to experience these.
Like, quicksand rat holes.
Well, the rats like in their thousands make holes in the ground.
Yeah.
And they like surge up from the ground, and in some sections you have to outrun them. But that's what's essentially happened here is they've created this hole in the ground and it's fallen in there, and the rats take it underground. It's f***ing full on. Like it's
Looked
right at the start of the game as well,
Yeah.
and it's like
It looked like Monster
My
of the
doggy.
I was just like, this is not what I expected.
Is it like a fictional world, or is it actually set in London?
It's
or is
France.
it's France, yeah.
It
So it's
during.
like
Is it meant to be during the
the boob, the
the
bubonic,
Inquisition.
the old bubonic?
the old bubonic.
Well, yeah, it's the plague, but it's also the Inquisition's happening at the same time.
How unfortunate.
Spanish Inquisition?
Yeah.
Nobody.
I was
expects
gonna say,
that.
did anybody
I
expect
mean,
that?
I
though?
think it's the only Inquisition.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
You beat me by a second. I swear to God.
No, so yeah, essentially you are Amicia and you're escaping
Amicia.
Amicia
Sacrebleu.
de Rune,
They're
and you and your little
She's
brother
like a-
Hugo are escaping the Inquisition, but
They're
also
richy
having they
pants,
are
aren't they?
very rich, but there's also like a very mysterious thing going on with the little brother, and no spoilers.
He's a rat.
I was gonna say he's
He-
part plague.
He is the plague. No. It's much more interesting than that. It's really, really good.
He's death.
I won't go too much more into it though, because I have done a review on my channel. So go subscribe to Direct Gaming on YouTube and go check out my review. It's really
will.
good. High praise though. I'll
Did
tell
you put
that.
in the scene of the dog going in the hole though?
No, because that's like a spoiler. So
Well, she knew about it.
Whoops.
yeah, but she probably watched it on stream or something.
Yeah, I watched a bit of it.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen a drop of it.
I want to play
it's,
it.
It's
Have to
great.
watch the
Like,
review.
if you guys played Xbox, I could lend it to you. But, you know. Another game I've been playing, though, this is a bit more lighthearted, a bit more fun.
Oh, yeah?
I wouldn't necessarily say A Plague Tale is fun. It's very emotional and very sad.
Am I gonna cry if
But
I
this
play that game?
Every time.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's really good though. But yeah, much more fun time, much more lighthearted is Void Bastards from Blue Manchu. It is
It looks
freaking
great.
awesome. Yeah, great art style, really funny. Like, just it's a strategic first person roguelike shooter with procedural generated elements, and
Oh, yeah.
it's just a whole bunch of fun, and it's really funny, and it's
I've
got this
seen a
great
lot of
humor to
tweets from it.
Yeah.
One of and this is such a little thing, but I really liked it. Some dude rolled a character where he would refer to everyone by their last name.
Oh my god, how funny was that?
It's just
And
so
it's like,
silly.
instead of saying like one of the enemy types is the janitor, is a janitor, and I saw that. I think I retweeted it, and it's like, instead of just saying janitor, it says like Mr. Scott.
Mr.
and
Scott, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown. Like, oh my god. The humor in the game is really good. Like, it's a lot of people are comparing it to like Hitchhiker's Guide, like that
Oh,
kind
nice.
of humor, but it's a little bit darker. Like, you're walking around, and you like some of the rooms on. So essentially, you're going into this nebula called the Sargasso Nebula, and you're trying to escape it essentially. So you're on this ship, but you're a prisoner, and you've been dehydrated because there's so many prisoners on this ship that they can't keep them in like human form. They dehydrate them and put them to little sugar packets.
Oh, I thought
Right?
you meant they were just like needed
no,
some
no,
water.
No, like the prisoners
Oh,
literally
God.
get dehydrated and put into little sugar packet kind of things.
Sick.
Or
I
chip
wish I was a
packets.
sugar packet.
And that's what kind of makes up the roguelike element. So if you die, they just
Open up
rehydrate another prisoner.
Oh,
my
I
God.
love that.
It's so clever.
Oh, I want to play this game.
So you're on this ship, but you need to get out of the nebula, and all the crew have died, so they're using the prisoners to try and do that, and you have to like get these certain, like you have to craft these certain things to come back to the ship, and then build like an ID card, and then you have to build the computer to use the ID card, and then you have to build this other thing and this other thing.
If I have to build the computer for the ID card, why don't I just build a computer that doesn't need an ID card?
Because that's just Void
kidding.
Bastards. It's hilarious. Like, it's not really spoilery, but I don't even want to spoil just the little
fun
the
stuff.
little fun things about
Yeah, 'cause
what
that's a good
happens as
surprise.
you go along. Like, it's really funny. And then even the ending is just like, of course it had to end this way. It was hilarious. So, yeah, and you're like going onto these ships, collecting materials, you're collecting weapons and sorry, not collecting weapons, collecting like ammo for your weapons that you can build
Cool.
on your workbench, and
It's boring, according to Dylan.
Oh,
Yawning over and over. No, I'm kidding.
collecting fuel and food, and so you essentially, if you run out of fuel, like that's it, you can't go anywhere. You have to start again. If you run out of food, you start starving, and your health goes down. So you're always kind of managing these elements and managing your ammo, and it's got some really fun weapons. Like you've probably seen, if you've seen anything about the game, like kitty bots, and they're like these little things that you throw, and they're a kitty bot. They distract enemies, and then they explode when their health reaches zero. There is like a stapler as one of your guns. It's essentially a shotgun, but it's just you use staples as the ammo. I'm trying to think of some other things, but they've all got these hilarious names. And what's really great, because Blue Manchu are partly an Australian studio, so one of their studios, like wings, I guess, is in Canberra, so they've got a bit of an Aussie flavor to it.
Oh, nice.
There's these certain ships, the ship brand, and like there's maybe 4 or 5 brands of ship that you go on. All of these WCG ships are named after places in Australia. It's awesome.
Does WCG stand for anything?
Yeah, I'm sure it does, but I don't know what it is.
West
Yeah.
Coast Gators. I don't know.
So my hometown where I grew up in South Australia, who has like a population of about 3,000 people, there was a ship named after that.
No way.
Yeah, man. There's
That's
like
sick.
all these places like
Ulladulla and stuff.
Tari,
Yeah.
Ulladulla, Singleton, there's Wagga Wagga. Like there are so many, and because it's randomly generated, they can be any of these.
Yeah.
And there's just tons of them, and it's really cool. Like most people, I guess, outside of Australia would not even realize this,
Yeah.
right? So
Even some
it
of
was
those
such a
like
cool-
crossover names, you'd be like, "Oh, this is Singleton," and I don't know, somewhere else. There's
Yeah,
Singleton.
for sure.
That one
Yeah.
sounds like a fairly common name. Wagga Wagga though.
Yeah.
That's out there.
Yeah, so it's really fun, and it has an ending, but you can just continue exploring.
Oh, cool.
Like after it finishes, it kind of goes back to just before the ending, so you can try and fully get all your upgrades. You can start a new game, and there's like difficulty modifiers, and you can play the game like unarmed and try and escape the nebula unarmed. You can try and play it just using distraction weapons, and so yeah, very cool. Finished it today. I don't know if I'll play it on hard because I reckon it will be really hard. There are points in the game where you're like just overcome with enemies, and you're running about, and I like running out of air, and I was running out of health, and I was like running to the like atmosphere bit where you can refill your oxygen supply, and as I was about to hit it, it was like choking, and my health was going down.
no.
And I died, and I was like, no. So every time you die, you lose all your ammo, and you lose all your food and your fuel, but you keep all your like crafting materials.
Oh, cool.
So you start afresh, but you're not starting with zero, which is
Yeah.
cool. So all your upgrades they all count as well, and everything. So that's really cool.
How
But
long is it, do you think?
I think it took me, I don't know, I think maybe 15 hours.
If you didn't lose.
If you didn't lose and you like just did what you had to do, because obviously you're always kind of like tossing up whether to spend more time on a ship and get every little thing, or if you just get in there,
Grab
get
what
the
you
fuel, or certain ships have lots of food, so you just go and get the food and get out of there, or you don't have to board every ship either. You can choose to go past it if you have enough food and fuel. I think you could do it in like maybe 5 hours.
Oh, cool.
Or maybe even less if you were really like tactical about it and only did what you had to do.
Yeah. But it's not super short form, like you're expected to just keep running through it.
No. So there's like, I think there's 6 story-based things that you need to do. And like the first one has 1 piece you need to build this thing. And then the second one has 2. And I think the rest of them all have 3 to build these like story-based, like craft these story-based things, which then you go back and you craft it and then something goes terribly wrong and you have to go out and keep building these things.
Cool.
So yeah, I think maybe 5 hours if you smash through it. But yeah, you could play it forever because you don't have to, like once you finish the game, you can just go back and keep exploring.
Cool.
So, yeah, it's really good. Really, really, really funny as well. Great humor and yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Very good times.
Oh man, I need to buy an Xbox.
It's on Game Pass. Yeah, it's on PC as well. But
Then I have to buy it. Like
yeah,
a
then you
pleb.
have to buy it. I don't
It's
know.
2019, man. I just want a subscription service. I've been in preparation for 2 huge games that are coming out this year. I've been playing, and I know this sounds horrible, but I've been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4 a little bit. I've been playing some Nuketown, which is a bit of fun because it was double XP and double weapon XP recently.
Nice.
I just jumped on there and started playing it because I bought it and then I just had not played it for the longest time. You know what it's like? You buy it, you play it for a little bit thinking, oh man, this is the new hotness. I ended up like really not liking it when I first got my hands on it.
Oh,
and I was
really?
like, well, I've spent the money on it, might as well try and play it. But because of the announcement of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I was getting a little excited about it. So I was just like, we all know what COD is. We all know that it's definitely not the higher echelon of games. It's not necessarily games for art or anything like that. It is genuinely or generally just mindless fun in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
I like the competitive nature of it. I like playing multiplayer. I like leveling up and I like getting better at it. So that's the reason why I play it. But still, I figured, hey, Modern Warfare's coming out. Modern Warfare 1 through 3 were like some of the best COD games. So, yeah, I just figured I'd start playing that. And it's been fun, but I've stopped playing it since.
Okay.
It was a very short-lived little affair with it, but
Fun time in Nuketown and we're done.
pretty much. I reached level 55, so, there's that.
Nice.
Or was it 55 or 50? I can't remember. But anyway,
55 sounds better.
I made some strides, which was good.
Sweet.
Now I'm over it. So and then I started playing Metal Gear Solid 5 again.
Sweet.
In preparation for the release of Death Stranding. Now I know that they're not necessarily I know they're not linked. The only link being
It's understandable, though.
Hideo Kojima. And some of the gameplay that came out for Death Stranding did look a little Metal Gear-ish in a way, but point stands. Getting keen for that shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know they're old.
Kojima on.
I really love Metal Gear Solid 5. Has anyone played it?
No, I have it on my Xbox.
Is that the one with the lady that they're like,
Quiet.
Yeah.
she
Titties.
She breathes
breathes
through
through
her
her
skin.
skin.
That's why she
That's-
has to wear no clothes.
but she's wearing fishnets.
Fishnets and a bikini.
I would have
essentially.
much rather they just go, yeah, she just likes to wear a bikini.
They should have said that.
Can say that. What a joke. She's part plant.
Dude, her whole deal, right? And not even real spoilers, but she was burnt alive. She was burnt alive in the opening of the game. So, like, cool. She breathes through her skin. She can only wear a bikini. Sick. But she should look like an absolutely mutilated burn victim. And if they did that, that would have been brutal as No one would have been heaps into that hole.
It's very...
I feel
Make it
like
quiet.
it would be harder to repair someone's burnt skin to be breathable skin than it would be to just replace it with regular skin. Like, what the
I mean, it's
Why'd they have to
Kojima.
upgrade
It's a very Japanese thing.
It
isn't
is.
She still has a mouth, though. And I swear to God, she looks like she still breathes. But
Yeah, and
there
like,
you go. Through
that's
the
just...
skin.
It's just so silly. Like, it's a very Japanese thing, but just say that she likes to have her tits out. Like, I would have been so much
That
happier.
is such a small, tiny, insignificant
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry.
part of this absolutely massive game that is so good in so many levels. It absolutely is the first time that there's an open world inside of Metal Gear Solid.
Right.
And the combat, the tactics, the stealth is incredible. The amount of tools that you've got, the amount of ways that you could do the same mission again and again and again from different perspectives or angles. You can either go in there with your fucking bodysuit of Kevlar and your rocket launchers and your Gatling guns and whatever, or you can go in there with like literally just a silenced tranquilizer pistol and go in there and start using stun sticks to with people.
Wow.
And then literally use the what do they call it? The system with the balloon thing that it's gonna kill me if I don't remember
Balloons.
this.
Reboot balloons.
There's literally a system where like
balloons.
you hijack people. Like you'll either tranquilize someone or you'll knock them out, and then you'll attach this thing to their back, which will expand this giant balloon that throws them up into the sky, and then a plane comes by and hooks them and takes them. It's called the Fulton extraction system. That's it. The Fulton extraction system. And it's amazing because if you've got like 20 people down there that are guarding this base, you can steal all of them. And you take the people and then they work for you. You have this massive base that you build from the start of the game to the end of the game that you continuously go back to.
I would steal every single person.
Literally, that's the point. You have to go through and you get your binoculars out and you're like, oh, that's an A rank soldier. Ooh, that's an S++ rank soldier. And you steal them, and they go and they might be good at something. They might be good for the medical bay, or they might be good as a outbound soldier, or they might be good as an engineer or someone for your R&D team. So that the more people you get on your R&D team, the more weapons it unlocks.
This is so much more in depth than I realized.
Dude, it is so huge. And the fact is that as you keep building your base, you start to have more platforms, and you can physically see when you buy a new platform and it's complete, there's a whole nother massive chunk of this base in the ocean that is open to you.
I have a question, Dylan.
Yes.
Okay, so we can get all these different types of soldiers and stuff like that for medics and kind of different other objectives. My question is, any of those soldiers happen to be big titty enemy? Kind of like the girl that you mentioned in bikini.
So let me get this straight. Are you asking if there are any big titty anime girls in the game?
No, not anime girls, but like
there's quite.
Fairly
But,
certain
like-
that's
like,
exactly what he said.
there's only one. So far from what I've heard, there's only been one character, and she's literally just in bikini. But it's just her. There's only one female in the game at all. There's no others.
There are more women, but there are no more women with big titties. I mean,
Can
they're
you
all
buy her
covered.
different coloured bikinis?
You can.
Doesn't she
wear
have some-
different alternate outfits?
Yeah.
And there's one that's based off a James Bond movie where she's completely covered in gold paint.
Which is so good for sneaking.
Yeah. She glimmers in the sunlight. Like it's worse
That's
than a
actually
scope.
really exciting. Now I want to get a sexy lady in gold paint.
It's pretty funny actually, and Quiet's like a decent companion because you choose your companion. You can either have a dog, which is amazing. You start off with a horse.
Who you can stealth on. I love seeing.
Yeah,
do
you can
that.
hang off the side of the
That's
horse.
so
It looks
cool.
so sick. But with the dog, you find it as a wolf pup. And you pick it up, and then you Fulton extract that little and then you come back. You come back later to your base, and
Eject him.
he looks like a fucking wolf, and then he comes straight up to you and he's like, "Yeah, we good." And then you can just take him out, and he'll
Thanks
start
for
to
ejecting me.
No, literally, he's just like, "Hey, Dad, what's good?"
Hey, Dad.
And then he just follows you, and you can upgrade him to the point where he has a knife in his mouth, and you can send him off to go and stealth kill, literally, and he stabs him with a knife.
Okay, I think I need to get this game.
I honestly can't believe any of you guys haven't played it. I'm blown away that you haven't.
I've not, and this may be friggin' blasphemy.
Say it.
I've never played a Metal Gear game.
That makes two of us.
Makes three of us.
My ringtones on my phone, each
I
and
know.
every one,
I know.
are Metal Gear sounds.
I know.
I had an exam today, and
I
at
just
uni,
missed
the
the boat
friggin'
on it.
Yeah, same.
down, that went off in an exam. My phone wasn't on silent because I'm an idiot. But there you go. So yeah, everyone in that room, they must have heard that. But point being, the game is absolutely incredible, and I'm trying to give you a real overview, high level stuff. But I'm it just makes me want to dive in and explain all this stuff about this game.
No, it's I want to play it.
Dude, the amount of weapon customization you've got is insane. You can break apart different weapons once you fault and extract weaponsmiths to allow you to do it. You can break apart certain parts of weapons, jerry-rig them all together.
I just want
you
to
can
blast
take parts
everyone
from
into
a
the sky.
sniper rifle and put it onto an assault rifle. And you can change all these little elements around, add attachments, remove them, all that sort of stuff. It is crazy. You know, do different like paint jobs and all that sort of stuff too.
Man,
and
okay.
then at the end of the game, like when you start to finish this story, you can start to either choose to denuclearize the planet or you can decide to build your own nuclear weapon. And I'm like, this is the first game I've ever played that allows me to build a nuke. And it is just
Civ.
dripping with this like 80s, I don't know if it's meant to be like Cold War. Yeah, it is. It's like 80s Cold War-ish, like timepiece era or whatever it is that's set in. And it is just juicy as It is super cool.
Sounds rad.
I'll shut up about Metal Gear now.
I'm sure there was a point that you were getting to, though, in that you said you were playing Metal Gear Solid for a reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, yeah, because of course, I already mentioned Death Stranding's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's chat about that.
That is a great segue. At least
Well, it would have been. But yeah, on the 29th of May,
oh,
wait, we got a trailer? Is that
yeah, we sure
Yeah, well, the
did.
live stream.
We got a
Did you-
live stream.
Well,
Did you watch
it
it?
was
Live
just a
stream started
trailer.
early,
It
but-
was just a trailer. That live
There was
stream,
also Peter Pan hands.
it's just, yeah. It was a trailer. It was
Yeah, it
a
was a good trailer.
fucking
nuts.
amazing
It was
9-minute
amazing.
trailer. Just blew my mind,
And it, again, raised more questions than it answered.
I learned.
which is great. I love that.
It makes no sense.
I learned.
Nothing.
BT.
Yeah, I learned
BT.
three
Big,
things.
Big toots.
Burger terrorist.
There's f***ing bridge babies.
Bridge
Yeah.
babies.
There's BTs, which can only stand for big titties or ball
I hope to
testes.
God a
Or...
sense of that.
It's
Blistered
actually
tatas.
beach things, but let's not talk about that.
And the third
Beach
thing
tit-
that I learned was that I know f***ing nothing about this game.
So the president's dying, and I think
and her
Sam...
name's Bridget.
Bridget Bridges, I'm pretty sure.
Gross.
Because I'm pretty sure that's his mum, and his name's Sam Bridges.
With a
Are you
bridge
sure?
baby.
Maybe
We don't know.
Maybe,
Well, no, maybe
he's
stepmom.
inducted into
Maybe-
this thing, and you know his last name gets changed to Bridges when
Bridge
he becomes a
Tortellini.
part of the
Maybe
company.
stepmom, because he calls her Bridget. He's
He
like,
does. The president of f***ing nothing, Bridget.
you're the president of shit, Bridget. I love that.
It was so
awesome.
good.
Norman
I
Reedus.
watched that trailer so many times. I have no idea what type of game it's going to be.
Well, I love the
Stealth,
First of
obviously.
all, I love that ladder.
Yeah, right.
Really? That's the best thing you love about that was the
No,
ladder?
but I fucking love that
It's
ladder.
big dick environmental interaction.
I love
right
that, and the abseiling down that, like that
was
shit
cool.
is so cool, and it's cool when you look back at the old trailers. He's crossing this like he's using the ladder as a bridge essentially.
Yeah.
And there's another bit where he's rappelling down a wall. Like they've kind of teased that, but it doesn't look like they're his usable items. I like the hand-to-hand combat looked okay.
Looked strange, but
But once he
slow
starts
and deliberate.
swinging, it's actually had some
Yeah.
cool like combos and stuff, and then the shooting in the war sequence
Yeah.
when he's shooting the skeleton army dude. Now, theories on that, is that the upside down world? So
Yeah.
because when you die,
It's- what do they call
you
it?
don't,
You don't
die.
die. Like it doesn't stop the game.
Hades.
Yeah, is that okay? Is that
That's.
Hades?
I mean, it popped up in the trailer saying
Hades,
the name
yeah.
Hades. so.
yeah, and it's like World War One.
Yeah.
People
It looked
saying
like it,
because of the tanks.
It was
and
World War
stuff.
One.
Yeah,
It was World War One. There were World War One tanks
Yeah.
in the actual fights.
And you
and
could tell from
little
like
trenches.
the trenches and everything as well, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
trench
of course,
trench
yeah.
warfare in the mud.
The
like
uniforms and all that as well were very World War One.
So interesting. Like there's so much that I could talk about for this.
True.
the thing that I was very kind of thinking what it was going to be was one of those games where it was stealth. You can't be in a combat at all. You can't be fighting. You have to be
I kind of
hiding
thought
and
the
running
same
and everything
thing,
like
yeah.
that. Like especially with the obviously those BTs where the shadow figures are there and you kind of like can't make noise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those
Then when
butt
I started
tingles.
fighting, I'm like, I don't know now. I don't
Yeah.
know where I'm at. What can you not fight? Can you fight? Like,
Well, I
I'm
wonder
getting
if you can
both, but-
I think
fight-
you've got to pick your fights.
Yeah, I wonder
is
if you
cool.
can fight the BTs.
It doesn't really look
I don't
like
think
it.
so.
Look like it.
It didn't
And you can
look
only
like
see
no
them when
fightable.
you got the baby plugged in.
Yeah,
and-
right.
Plugged in.
Fucking
so-
plug my
Oh
bridge
my
baby into
God,
my
I
fucking
feel-
umbilical cord. Like,
Sam
love
Bridges
that.
with
direct
bridge
his
babies.
umbilical
Yeah.
cord into mine.
Bridget
Dunk.
Bridges, the president of Bridge World.
Right?
Bridge
Let's also talk about Die Hard Man.
I know!
Hard, man.
Die Hard, man! Jeez, I love
Fucking
it.
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker Higgs was his character, I think.
Oh, I thought he was Die
No,
Hard.
Die
man.
Hard Man.
I don't know who he was.
that
I just
Guillermo
that name
del
is so
Toro?
ridiculous.
No, I think
That was good.
No, that
There was
Dead
three
Man.
mans. There was Die
Dead
Hard
Man.
Man, Dead Man, and
Man who is dead.
not a good name,
I don't
man.
know.
It was
But-
the silliest one.
Oh, dude, it looks so good.
It looks
And like they're
so
afraid of the
good.
rain, like the what
Yeah,
do they
the
call
rain
it?
is
The
where the
time-
beach
that
things
ages
come
you?
out.
Yeah,
or something?
the time fall, I think they call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
cool name.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool. And from the trailer, it makes it. Let me begin my sentence again. From the trailer, it makes it look like the time fall is what brings the beach things out and about.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
And your little like thing next to you that's like flashing when you
The
got the
other
baby
thing I was
plugged
going
in.
to say in terms of combat is that they say about like if you die, you can create a crater. Like maybe that's going to be a part of the gameplay.
Is that Yeah, because doesn't he say that the like the terrorists or whatever
going around killing people and leaving
creating
craters.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And
yeah.
like from the other trailers that we've seen, people have already theorized that if you die because you're moving to this other world, you create a crater, like a
Right.
big impact
Yeah.
zone. So
I thought
maybe that's why you have to pick your combat sometimes. Maybe only specific deaths create craters.
And what are we delivering?
How big
Like
of a crater?
what is Bridges?
Cables. Putting cables across America.
I think that was a metaphor, wasn't it? For like
I have
the
no.
cables didn't like
Well, from
stop
what I
like
read-
when like technology didn't
Yeah.
stop this from happening or
Well,
whatever.
what I read in the
Yeah, right.
synopsis was about reconnecting towns and
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah.
So it
Maybe yeah, okay. I
Isn't
get
it like, as you mentioned about metaphors, the whole thing a metaphor about the human connection and the fact
Yeah.
that technology is driving us further away? It's all about bridging the
Potentially.
gap and putting things together, running the cables.
We're
So it's
saving
very,
the
like-
people and raising America.
You wanna
yeah,
know
it's
what
very
else?
like
Making it
America,
cable
isn't
again.
it? For
Yeah.
for a Japanese
I
game.
thought so as well.
Like the fact that the president's like dying in the Oval Office, like it's very American.
Unexpected for me.
I don't know. I feel like some of the other Metal Gear, all of the other Metal Gear games are very America.
That's
In the
why
sense
it's
that
unexpected
about-
for us
I
though,
guess
because
so,
we missed
yeah,
that
we haven't
boat.
Played them.
I'm so disappointed in all of you.
It's just
I
not
need you
something
to
I
go
ever.
play Metal Gear.
I never
wanna
had
know
a
some-
PlayStation console when I was like a child. I only had one when I was like. I only got a PS2 when I was like 18. So
I had
Fair
I had
enough.
PlayStation for most of my life, and I still didn't play it.
Yeah, same.
You had a
just because-
PS2 when you were 18 and you didn't play Metal Gear Solid 2.
nah, I played
Or
like
3.
fucking Need for Speed and
Yeah.
FIFA.
I didn't play FIFA until
Till I was 22.
actually I played World Cup '98 baby on the PC.
No, 98, bruh.
You know what else is really cool though? Back to Death Stranding.
Yeah.
At the start, you can see like when he's walking across the field, you can see the big snowy mountain in the background, and then later when he's climbing the snowy mountain, that is the same snowy mountain. So
Wow.
Hideo was like, he based his map in a very Dark Souls-like way, where if you can see it, you can go there.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
that's cool. He said there is an edge to zones, so potentially
Yes.
massive cliffs,
His Twitter is
seen
weird.
as it's all ripped apart.
Yep.
You know what else is weird? He is f***ing hot for
He's hot. All right.
No, he's not hot.
half. He's not. No, he's not half tidy. Like he's not half bad either. Like
That's not what I was gonna say.
He's got a hard on for.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. Like he's f***ing
he has a Lord's big veiny hard on for what?
For who?
Hideo, I love you. Just don't take this seriously, man.
for
For
f***ing
Mads Mikkelsen.
exactly for Mads.
Who wouldn't
His
know?
dick is out.
And Norman
like,
Reedus.
Have you seen like
True.
no, especially for Mads. Like,
Wow.
have you seen his tweets where he's just like, we have Mads smoking, Mads with glasses, Mads in military, Mads tied up. Like, I'm just
Mads as doctor. Mads as
Exactly
depressed
right.
doctor.
He's like for all you Mads fans out there. It's like, that's for you. Also, he added the fact that what's Mads' character? Cliff. He added the
yeah.
fact that Cliff smokes because he was watching Mads as he went out on a break and Mads smoked and he was like, we've got to add it. He looks so good.
Oh my.
He is fucking
That's hilarious.
his
Mads
bulge
Mikkelsen is pretty
is
rad, though.
about to
Yeah.
blow.
These
for
are big
Mads.
accusations.
Nah, everyone knows it's true.
You heard it here first on Spawn Respawn.
You didn't. You heard it here last.
What-
'cause everyone's confirmed. Hideo bulges for Mads.
He bulges for a few people though, as you
Norman
mentioned, Norman
Dude,
Reedus.
Mads deserves it. He's
Did
cool.
Did anyone here play the Silent Hills playable teaser?
No,
Oh my god.
nah. I don't
What,
do horror,
PT?
Yeah,
man.
PT.
Ugh.
No.
Playable teaser.
Do you still have it on your PlayStation?
I
Because
do.
your PlayStation
My
is probably
PlayStation
worth...
is worth like $2,000 right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I was like, I'll play that, and it was gone, and I was like, oh.
It was amazing, and it was pretty spooky. Like I'll give you that. Like I did shoot myself
Hey,
a little
Dylan.
bit, but
I get scared in Tomb Raider.
yeah, no, it is incredible. And then like if you beat it, and still don't understand how people figured out how to beat it because it is like ridiculously hard.
Yeah, it's
like
nuts.
Oh, wait, there's an ending?
there's an ending to it, and you've got to figure out how to do it properly. And you're supposed to read through and find these real obscure clues. But no, someone figured it out, put it on Reddit, and then I beat
Yeah.
it following the guide.
Right, yeah.
And then it plays a trailer for Silent Hills
Yeah.
featuring Norm. And that's when you figure out the whole time you were Norman Reedus.
Yeah, you
And it was
Normie.
like with Guillermo del Toro,
Yeah.
like as executive
And
producer with him or whatever.
Junji Ito as well.
Junji Ito is the f***ing bomb.
He's
Dude,
that manga boy.
I missed his exhibition when I was in Japan, and I cry.
Oh, that
When I go
sucks.
back, I hope it's still there.
That would have been spoopy.
I
as.
know. But PT, right, where I watched it like religiously when it was live because I couldn't play it myself at the time. And I was watching people like live stream it, trying to figure it out, and I was watching all these theory videos, heading on the Reddits where they were like collaborating and trying to figure out the correct order to go through things. Oh, I love that shit. I love those types of things. What are they called? Where they even sometimes come into real life. What are they called?
ARGs.
Yeah, I fucking love that shit.
Augmented reality game?
Yeah, but there's another one. ARG's totally fine, but there's another one as well. Another abbreviation or whatever those are called for that sort of thing. But I fucking loved it.
Alternate reality game? I don't know.
Either way,
IRL.
fucking all about it.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, scary games, not my thing. So I never played
Look,
it.
I can watch it, but I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, I'm a little baby.
You little tiny little munchkin.
Jeez, I was too busy playing multiplayer games. Literally, ever since like I hit high school, I just been nothing but multiplayer games. Anytime any single player game come out,
You're missing
people are
out, baby.
"Oh, such
Yeah,
great
you're missing
games."
out
I'm
on a lot.
Couldn't
I tried
care.
to play Dead Space 2 and
was it
like I just could not. It was too scary.
That
Scariest
game
game
starts
I've ever
off pretty
played.
full on.
Yeah, where like your friend's head gets like ripped off.
Dude,
right
that was
in
a
front of you.
character from like some other side game, and like he was the main character in
right.
that game. Oh, I didn't know
that's
that.
brutal.
It
The
was on a-
scariest
it was
game
on a
I've ever
movie.
played is Alan Wake, and it's not that scary.
Dude,
it's
that's
just like you've
not that
always got something chasing you, and it's like,
I love that shit.
I really,
Outlast was good for getting chased.
I like,
oh,
Oh,
with me,
no.
man. It with me.
I
love
like
it.
to think that I like horror games, but I'm really bad at playing them. Like, I'm terrified.
I love him.
I used to
I'm
be
just-
terrified.
Oh, I can't like literally my chest gets so
Yeah,
tight. I'm just like,
It's like
Such a fan.
shivers when I like. Oh no, I can't do it.
You need
so-
to play them together. I'll
Fifth
play.
three.
You guys
I
watch.
literally
watch,
screamed
yeah.
watching Tomb Raider. I literally screamed. Like I was
Watching
like,
or playing.
Fear 3 was my first horror game that I played.
what was it?
Fear 3.
Yeah.
That was
Fear 3.
That's not a horror
hey,
game.
hey, that was
That is a-
full on for
That is
me.
an action shooter
I was
right
gonna
there.
say,
That
yeah,
is not
right?
a horror game.
Yeah, but like there was like a scene where like you go into like a warehouse, it's like all TVs, and there's something like moving in between the TVs.
Oh, that
TVs
was-
are
falling
spooky.
over,
That
it's
was
all, like
cool.
lightning, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Very
gun
much.
in my hand. I'm like, oh my
Dude,
god.
the first Fear game gave me such a nightmares. Like dead set. Every time I'd realize I was having so much fun in the action and the combat. Like the thing that pushed me through. And I didn't know I loved horror games back when I played this. But the one thing that made me want to play it more was just how tight the combat was.
Yeah.
Because you had that mad slowdown time ability and like all the physics
Yeah.
engine was sick. And then I'm like, oh, I hate this game. It's so scary. And then turns
fair,
out
boy.
in that game, the scariest thing that happens is just this little girl that shows up and is like, hey man. And then she disappears.
Freaky.
She doesn't hurt you.
Spook.
She doesn't touch you. Anytime you go near her, she disappears. I'm like, that's the scary bit. And once I figured that out, I'm like, this game ain't scary.
Spooky.
Spoopy.
Yeah, or I tried to think like that when I'm in, like, when I was playing Tomb Raider. I'm like, these dudes are just scuttling off on the side. It's fucking fine. And then they grab you and they just they beat the shit out of me. I was like, I have to do it again now.
Oh no.
So yeah, I'm a big baby.
Fair enough.
Actually,
Fair
I probably could have said a different game, but it wasn't true. It's more like a joke. Grab by the Ghoulies. Too spooky.
Oh, dude, that game made me throw out my Xbox.
What?
You know what I had?
That was, ladies and gentlemen, that was a joke.
Plants vs Zombies.
It's too real. I thought the
Too real.
zombies were bad in RE2.
I was like, I'm gonna have to
No.
start planting some sunflowers in my front yard.
It's just so addictive, but I'm so scared all the time. Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
Anyway.
We digress.
Moving
do.
on.
Let's move on to a hot piece of a hot piece of topic information that's been circulated recently.
I'm super excited about this.
Oh, yeah.
I was
I'm
gonna-
super excited for you guys.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce it?
I think Elliot's gonna have all the info.
Okay, well, seeing as I'm the resident Xbox fanboy, this makes me happy for you three, because you finally on PC are gonna get Game Pass, which is pretty awesome, I think. Bloody big old Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, released a thing on Xbox's website the other day, just explaining that Game Pass is coming to PC. It's going to be a separate service, so I think if you pay for it on Xbox, you don't get it automatically.
Might be a bundle though.
Yeah, potentially, especially with like Game Pass Ultimate coming
Makes
out
sense.
or whatever, or Gold Ultimate, whatever the hell it's called. I think this is pretty cool because, firstly, it kind of announces it before E3, so they have to spend less time talking about it during
Yeah.
their conference, so they can focus more on games and hopefully the new console. But it also just like is expanding Microsoft's services. Like I was saying to you, I think yesterday, Kat, like it's such good business that they're trying to like expand Xbox from just a hardware console to crossplay to Xbox games coming to Steam to Game Pass on PC. Like software is where the money's at, not hardware. Like most consoles, I think historically, most consoles have made a loss for the company who makes them. Like I think the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, I don't know about the PS4, but they were a loss.
Yeah.
Every single one they sold lost money for the company. So
Yeah.
software is
It's the
where all
games,
that
yeah.
money's
Yeah.
at. So the fact that they're like, yeah, people can buy an Xbox console, and there's people like me that I probably won't buy a PC. So I want the experience of playing on my couch, attached to my 4K TV with a $500-$600 console, rather than however much money to spend on a PC.
Never-ending amount.
And then constant upgrade, drivers, and you have to think about way more. And like, it's so much more simple and easy to use for someone like me
Simples.
to just have a console. So there are people like me, but then there's people like you guys who play PC
Master Race.
and now who are going to have this service that is just awesome. Like
I'm super
can't speak
excited.
highly enough about Game Pass. It's fucking amazing. Like
I was
Void Bastards,
super like
it's on Game Pass. It's
super non-convinced until week after week after week after week. I keep hearing all this sick shit that you're getting up to because all this mad stuff's coming out on Game Pass. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I should buy an Xbox.
And I assume because it's going to still be curated, so it's not just going to be random shit. But there's probably, first of all, I don't think it will have much backwards compatibility stuff because there's a lot of games that weren't on PC that were on Xbox 360. So it won't have that, but it may have other games that are maybe only on PC.
It said in the article that
Including-
like they're working with 75
75.
developers.
Yeah.
And companies like.
Yeah.
That's huge.
The thing I liked about the whole article when I was reading it was like, his whole driving point is the community. Like he just wants to, they just want to like be able to get the games out to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, when he started talking about the MCC, he was referring to it's on the Microsoft Store and stuff like that. But we're also working with Steam and
Yeah.
we're making sure that it's there as well because the community likes and trusts Steam. So
It's
we're
big
obviously
you to
there.
Epic Games.
Yeah, right.
And even after he said that, he still said like,
know
and we're
you
also
like
looking to get it
choices.
on other gaming platforms as
Yeah.
well. People would buy their games as well. So like, we're just looking to get it just out to everyone. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
top tier, man.
I
Like,
really
respect.
like Phil Spencer. Like, I think he's done wonderful things for Xbox. Like, it's not all come to fruition yet with all these new studios and everything, but he's like sowing the seeds that are going to make it more like Xbox as a brand, not just as a console, way more successful. Like,
Yeah.
putting games on Steam, that's such a clever idea. Like, because
That's a lot of money.
People want to play on Steam. People are gonna play on Steam. Like, they want to bring xCloud to mobile. Like, because they want the 2 billion potential customers to have that option to be able to play Xbox games on your phone. Like, it's really clever, and it's also pro-consumer. Like, it's not just
absolutely.
a good business model because it's going to make them lots of money. It's good for the players because they can play where they want to play. They can like, you know, like do crossplay eventually and everything like that as well. So
cool.
yeah, really cool. I'm pretty stoked to see that.
Yeah, I'm 100% in.
Yeah.
As soon as that shit drops. Wait, have we seen anything about the games that are going to be in it? We said there's
No,
75
they-
studios.
They said there's going to be 75 developers they're currently working with, and it's going to get release titles as well. With
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
fully
it's going to get all the
release.
Xbox
Yeah.
Game Studios games.
We'll hear all about it at E3, I'm sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm certain. I'm excited.
They'll do
I'm
one
really
of those
excited.
show reels where they show. I assume it'll be
keen.
quite similar, but
It says
not exactly
over 100
the same.
games anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm sure
down to
there'll be a
club.
lot of crossover, and potentially some things that you can only get on PC and some that you can only get on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Easy.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, sweet. Well, we're definitely going to hear more about Xbox Game Pass as E3
Shortly.
rolls around. And don't worry, motherfuckers, we're going to be covering that shit. So we will get all up in the business of Xbox Game Pass on PC. But y'all guys hear about the World Health Organization?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Y'all-
yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers hear about that?
Hell
Especially
yeah.
considering that they come out swinging being like, so game addiction is a bad thing. And gaming disorder is now officially recognized by the World Health Organization. Now,
Wild.
I'm sure here at Spawn Respawn we have plenty of opinions about that. All
May
right.
I begin?
I don't have a
Starting
gaming addiction. Screw you.
I think Kat's just
Fight you.
ready to rock and roll on
I'm
that one.
so ready to roll.
Go on.
Just
do
because
it.
I've read so much about it. I think overall it's a good idea. There's a lot of pushback from the gaming community as a whole, and developers and things not wanting there to be a gaming disorder. Obviously it's bad press, but I think it's a great idea for people who literally do have a video game addiction. Like, right now the classification is kind of really broad, which doesn't help, but the basic idea is that you are prioritizing games over everything, over your work, over your relationships. If your f***ing house burns down, you're going to run back in for your f***ing PlayStation and you're going to go plug it in to the outlet that's connected to the fire and try and play some more games, you know? Like, it's pretty bad, and you've done it for over a year. So you need to
Yeah.
at least have 12 months of this self-destructive behavior related to specifically playing games before you have a gaming disorder, which really, for me, puts it in the exact same place as literally any other addiction. Like, if you are spending too much time outside f***ing cutting sticks up because that's what you like to do, I don't know.
Yeah, but is there like
But, right, like, if
my
you do
objection with it is like,
anything-
is there a disorder, like a named disorder? Why isn't it just under addiction?
Addiction
or,
as a
you know,
whole?
Addictive
like-
personality disorder.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
main
that's
reason,
the thing.
I think, from what I've seen, is in that it's its own gaming disorder, and not just a part of addictive personality or anything like that, is because no one takes gaming disorder seriously. So when people go to the doctor and they're like, I can't stop playing games, like I'm destroying my life, they're like, just f***ing don't go on it. Like, which is really ridiculous considering you have the same thing for gambling and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And
I
mean-
obviously the solution isn't just don't gamble, but it's not being taken seriously.
Is addiction to gambling called gambling disorder? Like, I don't know. I
don't know.
No, it's just a gambling addiction.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Well, I think it is at least.
I think, yeah, it's referred to as a gambling addiction.
yeah, I just don't
And then
know.
there's alcoholism, which is, of course, the same addictive personality or
Yeah.
addictive behaviors attributed to
So
alcohol.
I think it's potentially. I think potentially the issue is it's easily linked in people who, for people that don't game, it's easily linked to gambling or personal like addiction problems, because there's gambling with loot boxes, microtransactions, all that sort of stuff where you're spending your money, and then there's personal addiction where you're just destroying your life. So by isolating it into a gaming disorder, it allows people to have it recognized properly when they go to the doctor, which allows them to, at least in Australia, get things like healthcare funding. You know, it gives
More
them
time off work to
Exactly.
play video games.
Exactly. Time off work to play more
just-
games. It gives you, you know, you get funding to have therapy sessions as opposed to being like, well, you have to go pay for your own. Like,
yeah, I understand. Like, I appreciate that side of things and the way you're looking at it there. But it's like one line in the article that you shared was like, the American Psychological Association said there wasn't sufficient evidence to determine whether the condition is a unique mental disorder.
Yeah.
And I, like, that's kind of where I land on it. It's like, is this just another attack on gaming as an industry, as a medium?
I get that.
And like, there are obviously situations where people are like super violent, like not like video games causes violence, but like, you know, children that I say
Having
get their
huge
friggin'
tantrums and
iPad taken
things.
away from them, they have a friggin' tantrum. I mean, that's on the parents for one thing, for
Yeah.
kind of cultivating that attitude to begin with. But
Yeah.
like, is it its own mental disorder, like mental health disorder? Like, I just disagree
think-
with that.
Yeah.
It puts this negative on gaming that already has enough negatives on top of it already.
I
Like,
think it's double-sided there, because I think there's the stigma around mental health and all that sort of stuff, and then there's the stigma around gaming. And so in one way, people aren't taking gaming addiction seriously when they are seeking help for it.
Yeah.
And that's in part because of the mental health stigma. And so then we need to apply the gaming stigma to let them get past the mental health stigma and actually achieve that help. So it just kind of sucks on all sides.
It can be such an emotional topic talking about. Oh, sorry. I
No,
didn't
you keep going. You keep going.
I didn't see that. I know it's such an emotional topic talking about games. I can see your point, Elliot, to the point saying that like, oh, look, it's another thing that's coming to attack the industry or at least the hobby that I love. But you have to admit that there are certain cases in which it is absolutely destroying people's lives.
Absolutely.
Where you see it in China as well. Apparently, it's massive there.
People just dying in internet cafes because they
Yeah.
don't f***ing leave for 12 weeks.
They have no life whatsoever other than just playing a game.
Dota.
It's just fulfilling this physical need to do something.
Get those
so it's playing
endorphins
this
just
game.
pumping.
Exactly. It's like being a slave to just this experience that you crave.
And especially in countries apart from Australia, we have an amazing like health system, but even so, our mental health system isn't great. Elsewhere, like to have the World Health Organization actually classify it allows for so many more people to get that help, even if it is causing a bit of a stigma and that sort of stuff. That can be worked on by everyone's acceptance of mental health as a whole, and then being like, well, video game disorder is just like literally any other disorder. There's no reason for it to be an extra stigma just because it's attached to gaming.
I agree with Kat in this regard, and I think it is valuable to have an idea of a gaming disorder to be able to specifically address those particular needs.
Yeah, I
However,
appreciate that.
listen, like the gaming industry, multi-billion-dollar industry, we've had nothing but controversies since like the 80s about shit like this.
Yeah.
And it has never been stronger now than it's stronger now than it ever has been in the past.
Yeah.
Which indicates to me that gaming disorder, officially recognized by the World Health Organization or not, the industry's not going anywhere.
Oh, hell no.
Like,
no,
and
no,
I don't
no.
think it's going to be this massive thing where like it's going to crumble or have a massive impact either. But in this case, it may actually allow people who need it to get the help that they
Sure.
they
And I
require.
totally appreciate that.
Did you have
Sorry,
something
Mitch?
to say, Mitch? Sorry for interrupting you like 7
That's
times.
fine. Look, I definitely, I'm hearing both sides because there are both sides to this, and the thing is, the thing for me, when people started talking about the gaming disorder and stuff like that, a lot of people that were uneducated about it, they were just like, "Oh, someone that plays gaming for like 6 hours a day, that's insane. Like that's definitely a disorder. Like you can't have to stop this at all." I'm like,
Yeah.
no, hang on, well, that's no different from any other freaking hobby. Like I can see people-
That's not what the
Exactly, and I feel like with this gaming disorder sort of coming to light, I'm not seeing it as it affecting the gaming industry at all. I 100% agree with Dylan. Like, there's no way this is going to stop. You cannot stop something this big.
No,
like,
no.
absolutely no freaking way in hell. However, what I do see happening is, people like potentially like it's being stopped because people like want to spend quality time playing this because this is a hobby, this is a passion they like, but people are starting to shut them down because they are wanting to play it for a certain amount of hours and stuff like that. You know, it's no different from someone being in the garage all night trying to work on their car because that's what they enjoy doing. Like, they're spending tons of money on it because it's something that they're passionate
Yeah,
about. It's
yeah.
no different. If,
Yeah, not at all.
Like, here I am, well, here I am with my, sort of,
Passion.
passion, spending the money that I am on different types of games is because it's something I love. It's something I like to do. Not spending money, something I like to do. I mean, I kind of do like doing that, but
Not gonna lie.
but it's a hobby. Like, I keep adding and investing into it because that's what I like and that's what I love.
Yeah.
All the different types of things that come with it.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. Like in the comparison to like other hobbies and other passions, like that aren't like looked at in such a way.
Yeah.
But I do completely understand the other side of things where there is an issue. Like
I think
there's not like not that I'm aware of. It's say news reports of like someone working on their car to the point that they just die, or someone working on their car to the point, what I mean? Like you hear about it in gaming.
Yeah, so
But-
clearly
I
there's a
do
difference.
get- Yeah, I do get both sides, but I like.
I mean, people die when they go hiking for
I
too
feel
long,
like
'cause that's
though,
their
Yeah.
hobby.
I feel like that when
Powerful.
they do bring up those stories, when people when they get taken to any sort of news or something like, hey, this person died from gaming. It's like, really? Oh my god! And it's kind of like, well, yeah, they just kept doing it until they died. And it's like, oh, well, why couldn't they just stop? They could have. And it's like, well,
That's where
that's
this
why we
comes
were trying to
in.
get
The
this
addiction.
disorder sort of
Yeah,
sorted
yeah.
out.
And I think, to me, like all of the people,
double-edged blade.
yeah,
sorry.
exactly. Like everyone's pushing back because they're like, gaming shouldn't be classified this way. It's so negative. Like we don't need it. In the end, I'm always going to be supportive of the side that's like helping people that have a
Sure.
problem, as opposed to siding with
Ignoring
a
it.
corporation.
But
Yeah,
a lot
or
of,
just being like,
Yeah,
no, that
yeah.
doesn't exist because I'm paid by Activision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? And like there's clearly a difference. People that are paid streamers that play 12 hours a day are not gaming
That's not
disorder,
a disorder.
even though
It is their job.
It's
yeah,
their
like
job.
it's completely different, and it's going to be different for everyone's case. But
Yeah.
like it's
But I
It's
think
an option. It's a card on the table, if you know what I mean.
And
It's
people
not-
need to
yeah.
understand it a bit better.
Yeah.
Not
and I
everyone's getting
think-
tarred with the same brush. It's an option.
Yeah, exactly. That was my concern. Is everyone getting pushed under the same rug because we're spending many hours
Yeah.
in the
And
games?
I think that's what will happen to the mainstream general public. Will
I
be
think
like
so,
what
a
you
little
said,
bit.
Mitch. Like, oh, you play gaming 6 hours a day. Oh, are you? Do you have gaming addiction or do you have gaming disorder? Like, no,
no,
leave me alone.
Get outta here.
Yeah,
But this
Yeah.
conversation is going to get a lot broader in the coming years,
Yeah.
especially with the proliferation of having very accessible virtual reality
Yeah.
headsets, where people
That's
are
gonna get a
actually
lot
going to start
worse.
to disassociate from reality
Sure.
and their actual lives and relationships due to the fact that they are legitimately addicted to a headset. Like I mean, what's
It's
that
good
movie?
that this has come
Ready Player
before
One.
VR.
True,
Ready Player,
but
yeah.
it's all I'm getting at is
Sword
that
Art
this
Online.
is going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I completely agree there. Like I had friends of mine that a few years ago, like I'd come home from work and I start playing and I'd see that like they were there when I got up in the morning and they were still there when I got in the afternoon. Not because they were like they enjoyed playing games for hours on end. It's because they simply didn't have a job. They literally were living on Centrelink while playing these games, and they did nothing but just game almost 24/7. That's
getting
to
close.
me. That seemed like a game disorder. And you
Yeah.
kind of sit with them, you like playing against like, hey, dude, maybe you should like I don't know. Have you tried getting jobs? Like, yeah, I tried applying for this job, but didn't get it, so I decided to play games all day.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit.
And that's,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
That's bordering.
that's a problem.
But I think like the mainstream stuff, it already happens all the time
Oh,
anyway.
totally, yeah.
And that's gonna hopefully with this, it'll improve as well, because like there was an article earlier this week from Vice about a 16-year-old
Yeah.
who died. It was like, oh, he died after playing too much games. He's got gaming disorder.
For 6 hours
6
straight.
hours.
Honestly,
Those are
do that
tragedy.
every fucking
Tragedy
day,
that
mate.
this 16-year-old kid died.
Yeah, horrible.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
But they are blaming it on him playing games and saying that he had the disorder when he played for 6 hours straight. Now that
And then
is
had a cardiac arrest.
he had a cardiac arrest. That is nothing to almost any gamer who actually is really invested in games, is
Yeah.
not just casually playing after work or something like that. 6 hours straight, completely normal. Also, the quote from the doctor was like, don't play games that excite you.
Yeah.
That's the whole point
most-
of a game.
It's like
most
saying you watch
si-
sport or something.
Dude, 16-year-olds can masturbate for 6 hours straight and not die from cardiac arrest.
Yo,
Again,
legend.
rest his soul, like,
Yeah.
bless that poor young boy. It's literally a tragedy. But don't paint it with he has gaming disorder. Clearly his heart had something going on with
Pre-existing condition
it that you didn't know about. It was an anomaly. You can't just blame it on, what they were doing. Kid was walking down the street and had a heart attack. Shouldn't have been walking.
He was playing. What is it called?
Pokemon Go.
Angry Birds on his phone.
Pokemon Go. Addicted to walking.
Like, I read the article. The article does say, though, that the doctor was like, that it wasn't any signs of, like, heart ailment. Like, he had no conditions. However, though, there was... The thing that kind of sticks out to me isn't so much the fact that he played a game for 6 hours. Like, that, I can play any sort of game for 6 hours, and that's not going to happen to me. My sort of focus is more towards PUBG. Now, that game, I actually have a recording on my my Apple Watch where my actual heart rate from between 5:30 and 7:30 went over 120 BPM, like at least like a few times, like 5 or 6 times.
My heart does that every day.
Like,
every 20 minutes.
I feel like it's just like some certain games are definitely quite...
exciting.
They are quite intense where you are actually like, you know, you're like, oh god, I've got to try and focus on different things and kind of different like that. So with that saying, you know, he doesn't have a preconditioned like conditioning like that, I feel like something's missing. Something is definitely
it may not be
not
a
right.
condition, but that doesn't mean it wasn't an anomaly of some sort.
100%. Like there's
people
has to be
have
something
random
that
heart
would have been
attacks
there.
all the time.
16-year-old though.
I got that notification.
It happens in
Really?
Oh, dude. I mean, you
Yeah.
hear stories of like, mate, one day here, mate, the next day. You just
I went to
fucking
school
gone,
with a
man.
kid when he was 15 and he was like full sporty, like played tennis all the time, had a heart attack and died.
There you go.
15.
See, exhibit A.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
I never
Yeah,
even
yeah.
thought
I would
that
have
was
to
a
say it's a
thing.
lot
Yeah.
more common than we probably
But I
realize.
got-
No one wants to talk about 16-year-olds dying all the time.
Just
No.
out for no reason either. Like,
It's bad. It's
I
like
had
no
the
one wants to
same-
talk about SIDS. You know,
whoa! I don't want to talk about SIDS.
case in point. Moving on.
I do.
Hey guys, do any of you have gaming disorder?
Well,
I do.
out of all of us, it's Dylan.
It's Dylan.
Which is
Spoiler
bullshit
alert.
because literally I'm the one who plays the least video games.
I could not
You
believe
goddamn
it.
addict.
So what we're talking about is
Motherfucker.
there's a survey that was brought out.
We'll put the link into
Yeah.
the description.
We'll put it in
And
so you can do it yourself and
get
see
in
if
the
you have
comments
gaming
It says,
and
disorder.
do I
tell us
play
what you
too
got.
much videogames.com?
Yeah, it was
They don't
made-
do
I'm
too
sorry,
much
but-
grammar either.
Yeah.
But-
Thank you.
It was made by, in conjunction with 3 countries. It'll tell you when you click on the link, but all I remember is that one of them was Australia. The questions are terrible. I'm going to be really honest. It sounds more like a survey of are you depressed and do you use gaming to stop being depressed?
Pretty much.
Not are you addicted to games?
So I'm 10 out of 20 depressed, not 10 out of 20 likelihood to
Yeah,
have.
I got
I got
9
6 out of 20.
Yeah, I got a
Sorry.
6 as well.
Mitch is bullshit.
Yeah.
For
You
one, let me tell you how shit this questionnaire is. For one, if it was a depression scale, I would not be at a 6. I would be at a 26. And if it was an addiction scale, Mitch, you would be at a 26. Like there is
out of 20.
out of 20.
I play
Out of 20
less than
guys.
6 hours each week, which is rookie numbers considering what I used to play.
I play-
And they're like, oh, bro,
Really?
you're f***ed. They're like, go to the doctor, man.
Hang on. Because I put in, it was like, you know, how many hours a week do you average? I'm like, probably about 30 to 40. They're like 30, 38, probably
Alright.
40 hours a week.
All right, 30.
And I got a 6 out of 20.
How did you get 6, Mitchell? Oh my god. I'm going to just...
I laughed about this
You
so much this
spent-
afternoon.
It
Because
was
I
a
was
You
dumb-
spent beep amount of money
Thank you.
on Apex within a month. That's insane. Like how are you and I on the same level in that we are both 6? You know how much money I've
Didn't
spent.
ask much about microtransactions.
I know,
did
but
he?
that's like microtransactions and loot boxes have got to be a core
Aspect of
portion.
that,
That's
yeah.
more for my
Okay,
gambling
sort of.
addiction more than it is my gaming
Do
addiction.
you know how much money I've spent on microtransactions in my life? $0 dollars. Not one. I have not bought one microtransaction in my
Okay.
life.
If you got a better job, Kat, you'd probably spend more money on games.
Absolutely on games, not microtransactions.
Oh, bullshit.
I'd
As if there wouldn't be.
my wrists.
As if there would be one little
Cosmetics.
tidbit, one little fucking Monster Hunter World thing that you might download. Expansion packs. I mean, I
They
don't
don't
think
count.
DLC doesn't count. I'm talking specifically microtransactions.
Wait.
I'm not going to go buy
Premium
500 coins for
currency,
$5.99.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like,
Alright.
But
I do that with Destiny. I do that with
cosmetics.
I don't do it for COD because that's just weak.
no, I prefer
Buy that
earned
red dot
cosmetics that I never earn because I'm not actually good at games. But I prefer them. But
But
man,
point being, this is a busted ass survey that was basically telling me
Go
like,
take it.
it said
take it though.
take it, yeah,
Take
yeah.
it and
Find
tell
out.
us how addicted you are to
Yeah.
your games.
This kind of tells us about how much of a bullshit story this is. But anyway, when it comes down to it, though, like it said, do you play games with others or do you prefer to play games with others? And I was like, not really. I kind of like single player shit. And then it's just like, how many hours a week do you spend playing with other people or whatever it was? All the questions about how social you are. And then it pops up being like, you're a social gamer who enjoys to speak with friends and family. I was like,
Wrong.
completely incorrect.
Same thing happened to me. It was like, do you like to play to win? Do you like to play to feel better than other people? Do you like to be the top? And I was like, no, no, no. And it was the only one that I can think that skewed my results is the question that is, do you know what skill level you are? And I hit yes, because I do know it's shit. It's bottom tier. You know what? Maybe there's like an absolute hell crap like mold
Trash
tile that's
tier.
below me. But I'm
tier.
near the bottom. Like I'm bronze. There's unleveled and then there's bronze. And I'm in bronze.
Oh my God, here we go.
And then it gets
More
to the end.
self-deprecation.
Gets to the end and they're like, you want to play to win.
Yeah, it was a dumb-
The thing is, I find so funny because I loved and I laughed so much when you said that. Because when I got asked those questions, I was straight up just like, you know, are you competitive? And I'm like, yes, 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 yes. I was just like full like yes, I want to win. Yes, I want to beat people. Yes, I love getting like a satisfaction when I defeat someone, like when I'm better than them.
Mitch is
6 out of 20.
Maybe it's because it's not about the depression side of things. Maybe they consider that to be normal. To be like, I play games to win. Yeah, of course I do. Why else would I play?
Whereas they're like,
Yeah.
oh, she doesn't want to win.
But
She's doing it to replace
Yeah.
her life.
She's just
It was. I
sad.
mean, you guys got the same score though. It's me and Dylan that are actually
Addicted.
more
and
addicted.
You play way more than I do.
I do, yeah.
And I wouldn't call you an addict either.
No,
I'd say that
no.
you're very responsible
I
about
think
your
part of it
consumption.
was like a lot of my like answers were like, do you play games to escape? It's like, no, not really. Like
No.
I don't. I play games because I love games, but I don't
Yeah.
play them to escape reality of my life. You know.
Only one of those questions
But
that
I was still 9 out of 20, so I'm
Yeah.
almost halfway addicted.
only question of that I answered that was like, do you use it to escape it to another? Was do you want to be in another world?
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
send me to a different world,
Yeah.
baby. Send me off this earth. I'm gonna go explore space, and I get that from
Yeah.
every single video game because
Addict.
I'm gonna go freaking fish
Isn't
for
that the
fucking
point?
giant eels. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what I want
I
to do.
get to fly a spaceship.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. This earth is boring. Send me off. But that doesn't mean that I want to escape my life. That
Yeah.
just means I like to do things that I can't do.
does that mean every time you read a book, you know, when you're escaping like reality, like now you're an addict of books?
Well, that's yeah.
People
I think
describe
that's-
that as like people who love literature. They always like go on about how, this book takes me to a different world.
I'm a
You can
book
get
addict.
lost inside of the narrative.
Tasha's like that, man. She reads
Addict.
hundreds of books every year. Like
Addict.
it's insane.
Nothing wrong with that either, right? I mean,
No,
if
no,
anything,
no.
That's really good. And people would describe that as that escapism of reading a decent novel
Yeah.
as attributing
Healthy.
that as being as a positive. But with games, they're like, no,
Yeah.
man, you can't
That's
deal
bad.
with reality.
Yeah.
You can't deal with that shit.
Now,
Well,
guys. Oh, no, continue.
I was just going to say that basically to really solidify our grasp of our of our gaming addiction, I was going to say, why don't we talk about how many hours we've spent?
Yeah, I was going to say, I sent you
playing
guys a little
games.
assignment of looking up what your most played game was.
This is gonna be
And
funny.
I'm happy to
This is
begin because I set the assignment for you guys.
Because you're a goddamn addict.
Because I'm an addict
With the rookie numbers, too.
with rookie numbers. So
I'm surprised.
I'll let you know what I've got. I've got Warframe is right at the top of my Steam with 383 hours played.
Pathetic.
Dark Souls 2, I have 354 hours on Steam across multiple editions, but I also played outside of Steam, so probably 400 plus.
Okay.
And the top game franchise that I've spent time in, ignoring Dark Souls and all of the Soulsborne games because that would be enormous, and I don't know how to calculate that because it's across so many different spots, is the Destiny franchise because there is a website, How Much Time Have I Wasted on Destiny, that nicely put it together for me, which is 467 hours. Not much, seen as recently I was looking at a game that I'm looking forward to was putting out calls for people who'd like to be alpha testers, and they said, we need you to have at least 1,000 hours in games like Stardew Valley. And I was like, oof, that's not me. I'm not going to be an alpha tester. Sorry. But
That's a lot of hours.
I honestly still can't believe that Warframe is at the top of my Steam list because I haven't played it for years. But I guess I was gaming addicted a couple of years ago.
Mine was a bit of a surprise as well. And this was definitely during the period of my gaming addiction. Without a doubt. And this brings me right back to it, man. I had like a friggin' Vietnam flashback to it as soon as I've heard this. And it's pretty embarrassing, but my top played game was Call of Duty World War II, which by the way,
I don't think it came out
last
like
year.
I'd say about
about that. But
Dylan's got his sobriety coin.
yeah, not gonna lie though, like it was pretty good. Like I really liked the multiplayer on it. I thought it was real addictive. It was Sledgehammer Games, I think.
Yeah.
And Raven Software. So
yeah.
Sledgehammer and Raven together, I think it was, and it was really good. But anyway, 503 hours on that. I hit 309 hours on PUBG, and again, all of this stuff is straight from Steam. And again, like these hours, it's not. I'm willing to admit that it's probably like I've left my computer on overnight in some cases.
so.
Yeah, I have one of those that I'm pretty sure it's because I left my console.
So we must
on
say
pause.
these results, they are skewed. But Half-Life 2, so a single player game that I've played a hell of a lot of hours of. I played 241 hours of Half-Life 2. And that game isn't one of those ones where it's like you explore and you talk to NPCs and you around like that. This was just a straight narrative, just move forward. I don't know how I spent that much time on it. And I spent 231 hours on Sekiro.
I'm honestly
That's
surprised that
amazing.
Resident Evil isn't in there for you.
It was
Sekiro.
literally
It was
Resident
next?
Evil 2 was the next one on the list. But I figured that having 4 was
I'm surprised Sekiro's up there for you.
That must have been on pause, I swear.
Yeah, I didn't play that much. My hours weren't even that high.
That's the problem with PC
I died
numbers.
like a
Like,
billion times.
PC numbers, they are skewed like that because like I'm a dumbass and I always leave my computer on.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
point being, I played a lot of Sekiro. I did, but not
Unfortunately, Xbox doesn't tell you like how much Sekiro you played. Like it's one of the. There's a few games that don't have your
have
that much.
hours
The save file
played.
would tell you.
I have 76 hours
Oh,
on
does it?
Sekiro.
I've never
Yeah.
hit the load game button. I've always
all the
just
Dark
hit-
Souls games would give you
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
playtime on
I
it.
have 76 hours on Sekiro.
I've killed like. Oh, I can't remember. I could
feel
look it up.
like-
a lot of enemies. You can see in the Xbox like achievements menu how many enemies you've killed.
Oh, really?
I'll tell you. Hold on. Sorry. Just a quick aside. Total money earned $162,353. Total enemies defeated 6,330.
But what about your
Murderer.
hours though playing your game though, Elliot?
It doesn't show. So okay, my
shit.
most. Okay, let me go back a little bit. So I guess top 3. Number 3 is Halo 5 Guardians, 236 hours. I think that's right.
236.
Yeah. In Halo 5.
Crazy.
Because I loved Warzone. It was super fun. I don't know if you played much of that, Mitch.
Warzone.
Warzone in Halo 5.
I didn't even play Halo 5.
Oh,
That answers that.
Warzone was cool. It was kind of, when it first came out, it was like 12 versus 12 or 8 versus 8, like big map kind of thing. But then they changed it to Warzone Firefight, so it's like 12 versus like the Covenant or whatever. It was super fun. So 236 hours there. Now the next one, I think this is again a case of me leaving my console on
Or you're
pause.
gaming addicted.
Either that, because this is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. When I first played it, I never finished it, but I probably put, I don't know, maybe 40 hours in. But I must have left my console on pause for a while. But then I played it again and I put like almost 200 hours into it last year. But this is at 455 hours. So
Maybe you're just addicted and you don't know how to count hours.
we'll wait for this one. Okay, this is my top game. So FIFA 15 came out on Xbox 360, but the 360 games don't have your time played.
Cool.
But then I got it on Xbox One. FIFA 15, 624 hours.
Wow.
And I had it on
On
360
Xbox.
as
Yeah.
well.
Oh my
You
gosh.
monster.
Holy shit. But then
That's not even a game worth playing for that long.
FIFA 16, 336 hours. FIFA 17, 292 hours.
Jeez.
FIFA 18, 116 hours, and I didn't buy FIFA 19.
Because it's the
So
same
I've played
as all
like
the other ones.
over 1,000.
A lot of time in FIFA, my boy.
Yeah, dude. 211 hours on Inquisition, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, nice. Inquisition's great.
Played that more than I remember playing it. Again, maybe I left it on pause. But that those FIFA numbers are probably pretty accurate because I just played it constantly.
Does that mean you're a gaming addict or a soccer addict?
Both.
Yeah, probably football.
Soccer is a game.
Football.
All right, Mitch, what about you?
Yeah, what you got?
See, now you all say, you know, oh, I left my computer on. I don't really feel like my hours reflect my games. Mine do.
You've been waiting in lobbies for half the time, though.
Yeah, it's true.
Not really, actually. Lobbies are very quick. Lobbies are very, very quick.
What do you got?
So my,
But it adds
my,
up, Mitch.
my third for like the most hours played was Rainbow Six Siege, which is about 348 hours. And that's literally jumping into lobbies and just doing a 5v5, pretty much hardcore search and destroy, pretty much, and just doing that over and over and over and over and over and over, like so many times. Like it's insane that to think about it that way, I get enjoyment out of that, but it's literally that competitiveness of just pretty much just going back to back, just doing all those, trying to get those wins and all those kills and stuff like that.
Nice.
My second game that has the most hours played is PUBG, with, if I'm correct, should be about 537 hours.
572 you wrote down.
72.
Holy moly.
My apologies. 572 hours.
No heart attacks, though.
Love PUBG.
Rest in peace.
Apparently love PUBG a lot. But the most play game, this is just Steam, by the way. This isn't like any other game like World of Warcraft, where I've played for about 6 years.
Oh, yeah,
which in the
that's-
thing, I wrote 6 hours for some reason.
Yeah, you
it's
did,
definitely
but
not 6
years,
hours.
that's fair.
100%
Your
not.
most played?
Is Dawn of War 2 Retribution.
How many hours?
616 hours.
What?
I think I still topped it.
You did.
Yeah,
You
you
said
definitely did.
Yeah,
with FIFA.
FIFA at it.
But the thing is, that game I have
That's why
not.
you're 9 out of 20.
That game I have
Elliot.
not played in a very, very long time. But I can see how those numbers reflect because I definitely played it a shit ton when it came out. Like I just played all the campaigns,
Is
all
that,
the different races.
Strategy.
Yes, it's an
Okay,
RTS.
yeah,
Literally an
yeah.
RTS game I played for 616 hours.
Oh, yeah,
Literally
that's epic.
doing, and then even like jumping on a multiplayer and literally like doing 3v3s or 2v2s or 1v1s and just being like building armies quick as you can, running them at the enemy and upgrading, capturing points and stuff like that. And even there's like a mode where you pretty much do like endless wave against so there's like 20 waves, and by the time you reach 20, there's like it's super hard to like beat the AI because of just the units are so strong and they're in
20
huge
isn't
numbers. You play like just a single player like hero. It might be like a Space Marine captain, or it might be like a Tyranid hive mind and stuff like that. You get like upgrades, you get like different customization, like weapons, abilities.
616 hours worth.
Yeah, it's insane. But honestly, if someone was like, "Oh, do you want to play Dawn of War 2 Retribution?" I'd go, "Actually, yeah. I kind of feel like I'd go back and play that.
Yeah.
A friend of
I'm
mine
down for a
played.
game.
I'm down for a game."
Well, this is about probably more than 5 years ago. A friend of mine had played over 2,500 hours of Left 4 Dead 2.
Oof.
Holy crap.
It was
Bit much.
all
I
he
love
played.
Left 4 Dead 2. I couldn't play it.
Not that much though.
And I think he still plays it occasionally as well. So he's probably like,
Do you addicts want to know what the best thing is? Now we can even play while we sleep.
oh.
Pokemon sleep. I'm never going to stop gaming. Oh,
Not gonna play that.
Are we
Play
gonna
that. Not going to buy the Pokeball Plus Plus
Pokemon Go Plus Plus.
or whatever the
plus minus?
Look, it's hilarious.
Stay out of my dreams, Nintendo.
You know
Poke
what, though?
Company. Get out of my brain.
We don't have much time, but I do want to top on just one thing. That the Pokewalker, back in 2011, the Iowa State University did a nice little comparison of all the pedometers out there, and the Pokewalker was the most accurate. So maybe...
There you go.
Does that
We
count
can
the
get-
Apple Watch?
Huh?
Does that
In
count the Apple
2011.
Watch? When
No,
2011.
yeah.
That was
Yeah,
Apple Watch
no.
came out way
2014,
later.
was it?
Yeah.
2015.
And so maybe, though, like obviously
Wait.
Nintendo is doing their best job. Maybe this sleep track is going to be
Is it even
Which game?
Nintendo?
Which game did the Pokewalker
think it's
come
just
out
the
with? Was that
Pokemon
X and
company.
Y, or was that before that?
I honestly couldn't remember.
Because it would have been some DS tie-in thing with the Pokewalker.
Probably.
Because that shit wasn't. I thought it was from Pokemon Go, but I'm like,
No, that was the
wait.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go was
Plus.
so much more recent.
Holy
than
Jesus.
Calm
that.
down,
What are you
bruh.
doing down there?
Kicking shit. Either way, 2011 Pokewalker. Don't look down there. It's bad.
Oh, yeah.
2011 Pokewalker, best pedometer there was at the time. Maybe the sleep track is going to be good too.
All right,
Monkas.
we're going to run through the upcoming games for this month, and then we're going to have to wrap this show up, despite the fact that it's been a great episode.
Great
has.
episode, guys.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to
can
read
really
off maybe the
talk.
first four.
Why don't
and
you
then-
just do them all, gracious host?
You got it. All right,
Bang
let's
him
get some
out.
big dick energy. 'Cause soon we've got some games coming out, and it's going to be a big one.
it-
Starting off with
yeah.
Warhammer Chaos Bane for
Give it a
PC,
yip if you
Xbox,
like
and
it.
PS4. It is going to be for June 4th. We're going to get that Warhammer Chaos Bane bullshit. And then coming up on June 7th for the PC, we got that big dick Octopath Traveler. It's going to be a big one. There's going to be tentacles. There's going to be suction. It's going to be insane. Coming up
Like that at all.
I hope there's
on
a
the 25th of June, we've got Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night.
Oh, yeah, that
PC,
sounds cool.
Xbox, and PS4. It's going to be juicy. It's going to be stainy. There's going to be blood everywhere. And it's going to be at nighttime. And coming up on the June 21st, we've got Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel. For PS4, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. It's going to be amazing. Nice high speed shit. We're going to be going around in corners. We're going to be
just
turning
went
left.
cross-eyed.
We're going to be turning right. We're going to be boosting from nitro carts, and we're going to be doing tricks and shit
gonna
and getting
crack some
Wampa
boxes.
fruit. We're going to be cracking
Wampa
boxes, getting some
fruit.
Wampa fruit. That's the shit. And then, guess what, boys? Everyone, it's going to be a little bit more quiet now, a
more
little bit more
tentacles.
intense, because the tentacles are coming back. The suction
We're getting
is
good
coming
suck.
back for a sequel. The suck is on the way. Zuck is giving us the suck on June 27th.
Oh, God, I
because
wanna
The
s-
Sinking City is coming out for PC, Xbox, and PS4.
Yeah.
This is going to be some...
need a good suck.
We're going to get the suck from some... well, it's-
Eldritch boy.
Eldritch bullshit. It is going to be Lovecraftian horror, almost in the wake of Call of
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. You know what I mean?
Cthulhu. I love that shit. Anyways.
Love it.
And then we're going to get some cheap, shitty remake of some cheap, shitty shit that Nintendo's made before on the June 28th.
Oh, what a
Super Mario Maker 2.
Oh, actually, it is a
what
sequel. It's
the
not.
It's a sequel,
heck?
it's not a remake.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just saying, that they remake
But
the
who
same
gives a
shit
f-
again
about
and again and
the
again. Nintendo, get a new idea. All
I
right,
like Nintendo,
coming
just gonna
up,
put it out there.
unannounced on June. What'd you say?
I like Nintendo, just gonna put it out there.
Make something other than Mario, Donkey Kong, or fucking
Pokemon.
Zelda, or Pokemon.
Love Zeldies.
Donkey
Moving
Kong's
on.
the bomb, but, you know. I digress.
I digress. We've got one.
I
game
don't
left.
digress. No.
One game left.
Is My Friend Pedro for the PC and Switch, which looks insane. It's published by Devolver Digital.
Yeah.
And it's going
Best
to be
boys.
the biggest dick energy I've ever seen in my life.
That's coming out this month, but no date.
No date.
No date.
Weird.
It's just going to show up on our door.
That's very, very
Oh, you
like,
know what they could
close
pull?
with no date. That's
Yeah.
so
You know
You
bizarre.
know what they could pull? E3. Here's My Friend Pedro out now.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what they'll do.
probably.
I reckon Ori, that's going to be the same
101
case.
marketing.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Boom.
tying it up for the day.
My name.
We've got a little bit over because we've had such a good time today.
We have. It's been incredible. We're all speaking very, very fast. Yeah. And it's time to wrap up the 8th episode of Spawn Respawn. I'm your host, Dylan Smith. You can find me on Twitter at CitizenSmith14. And I'm joined by...
Cat, yeah, boys. You can find me at CapCat pretty much everywhere, so hit me up.
I'm Elliot Porter. You can find me on Twitter at Direct Gaming. That's direct with a C and a K. And on YouTube. Plague Tale review out right now. Peep it.
Boom.
And I'm Mitchell Barnsley. You can find my Twitter username on the actual link because there's no way I'm gonna freaking say it again because it's just too hard to say.
Follow the
love
link
it.
up below.
So suck it.
Remember, boys, check out that
Tuck your
gaming
dick
disorder
in.
quiz. Elliot, check out that gaming disorder quiz and tell us how addicted you
Yeah.
are.
And tuck your dicks back in, because this was Spawn Respawn.
Bye.
Peace.